Microphone number 3, question of privilege. Madam Chair, delegate from Connecticut, Dan Reel, I have a time-sensitive motion that pertains to RFK and Donald Trump's speaking time, and the motion was submitted hours in advance in writing, and we have filibustered our way out of avoiding a motion co-sponsored by 43 delegates that everyone wants to hear and debate.
Mr. Dosbach.
Oh my God. Point of order.
She just ignored
Your point of order is not a point of order? Is that Mr. Reel?
Yes, it
Yeah,
is.
it's not a point of order, and I'm going to continue with.
You're going to alienate 43 co-sponsoring delegates.
You're going to.
The media sees you doing it right now.
Mr. Dosbach? No,
yes.
Because the vote, it's 29 people who.
Ms. McGardle.
I'd like to propose that we go tell Donald Trump to go fuck himself.
Hear, hear.
Yes.
Standing ovation for that.
We are a libertarian convention looking to nominate libertarians. We do not need to give that time to non-libertarians.
This is not a GOP cuckolding convention.
I move to vacate the chair.
Wow. Why do you want to vacate the chair?
Madam Chair,
That needs a second.
Point of order, Mr. Chair.
Created a problem she
Madam
cannot
Chair.
solve.
Madam Chair, point of
We
order.
are still on Mr. Starr's motion.
Tell you what, if Donald Trump thinks he's in for a warm reception tonight when he addresses the Libertarian National Convention, he is in for an unwelcome surprise. Here, the attendees at the Libertarian National Convention are making perfectly clear that they're not going to roll over and blindly accept what is being shoved down their throats by the leaders on the right, which includes the leaders in the Libertarian National Party. Because while Republicans have been content to line up behind someone who has no family values, who added $8 trillion to the national debt, who himself is on his way to becoming a convicted felon, whose supporters bludgeon police officers, who only wants states' rights until he has to usurp them with federal mandates, and who has nothing but clear, abject disdain for the Constitution, it doesn't seem that some of those libertarians are quite as desperate to discard every one of their professed values. Think about it. The most recent policy that Donald Trump promised was a raft of massive tariffs against China. Is that free trade? Is that libertarian? Not even close. Hell, it would jack up prices for consumers to a degree that would make this most recent inflationary period look tame. And so the notion that Trump would speak to these people is a testament to the fact that some people at the highest ranks of power in the Libertarian Party are so thoroughly compromised by proximity to power that they will immediately shred every modicum of adherence to principles and values and instead flock to a guy whose entire existence stands in stark contrast to those very values. There is no greater display of cowardice and shamelessness than the leaders on the right, from the GOP to the Libertarians and everyone in between, lining up behind Donald Trump. Need proof of that cowardice? Libertarian Party National Chair Angela McArdle said, President Trump, or at least his team, perceive themselves as needing our votes. They're willing to come and speak to us, to listen to us. That's really unprecedented. Why wouldn't we take that opportunity? How about because he isn't there to listen to you, he is there to talk at you and try to mitigate any votes that might go to some other candidate like RFK Jr. That's why Trump is going. Again, these people are so blinded by proximity to power that they will invent imaginary reasons to justify behavior that so blatantly undermines their own professed values. Anyone with half a brain knows that Trump isn't there on some listening tour. He's there because he thinks he'll win their votes if he barks at them about flushing toilets and cold courtrooms for an hour. And if the Libertarian Party's leadership had even an ounce of integrity, they'd probably be able to admit that. And that's a point, by the way, that was echoed by the executive director of the Libertarian Policy Institute.
Historically, I could see that the Libertarian Party has in America been more aligned with the Republican Party than it has with the Democratic Party. But there doesn't seem very much about Donald Trump's agenda that is libertarian. I mean, you've got states more involved in women's health issues. You've got a rejection of the notion that there should be deficit reduction. I mean, he just doesn't seem to be interested in this. His policies going forward are going to be more interventionist, not less interventionist.
Donald Trump is anti-libertarian. And when I was chairman of the Libertarian National Committee during the George Floyd unrest, during Donald Trump's first term and probably only term, I put out a strong statement saying Donald Trump has nothing to do with libertarianism. His type of authoritarian right-wing control of your body, control of your life, is everything we stand against. And that's why, to be honest, I want to share something with you. This is the first time in 24 years that I have not been a delegate to my own party's convention, because the Credentials Committee and the people who took over do not want a real Libertarian Party. They want to kneecap the party and knock us out of the race and basically force us to have a Trump rally. And I think that this weekend you'll see the Civil War will end and we will be victorious, and the Libertarian Party will go back to being a real political party, and Donald Trump will get the reception that he so richly deserves.
And yet, to the credit of the attendees, they do seem to be holding strong. Here's what happened when Vivek Ramaaswamy, who himself has proven quite the groveling sycophant to his God King, brought Trump's name up on stage.
I'm speaking to you as a libertarian at my own core. I have gotten to know Donald Trump over the course of the last several years and the last several months. And you're going to hear from him tomorrow night. And the question is, do you want to influence the next administration or don't you? So he's speaking here tomorrow night, right? You guys invited him. He's coming here tomorrow. Are you going to agree with him on 100% of what he says? Nope. Do I agree with 100% of his policy positions? No. Okay. But do I believe that he is the best chairman? Who's going to be the president? Is he going to be a Democratic nominee or the Republican nominee? I think Donald Trump is unambiguously. I mean, come on. Look, I invite you to dream on Aerosmith. We got to play the Aerosmith, right? I mean, I'm being honest here.
You gotta love Vivek trying to regain some shred of integrity by saying, do I agree with 100% of his policy positions? No. Okay, Vivek, sure. Donald Trump could say he doesn't believe in hair anymore, and Vivek would have his head shaved within the hour. This dude is nestled so far up Trump's ass, I'm surprised he managed to extricate himself to even get to this conference. But sure, nice try, Vivek. I'm sure you really regain those independent bona fides. And like the reaction that Vivek got when he uttered Trump's name, attendees have already promised a similar reaction to Trump himself. One delegate from Arizona said that Trump could get booed off stage, and himself promised to turn his back to Trump during his speech, adding that he believes the Secret Service will tell him not to come. In fact, when Trump's presence was announced, the party began selling Trump merchandise dubbed the Don Collection, which was ultimately taken down because of internal party complaints. I swear to God, Donald Trump cannot go anywhere without hawking shit to his marks. This dude would try to sell water to a fish if it meant he could get a buck out of it. I will never get over how none of these people can see what they are to him. They are disposable income, they are votes, they are warm-blooded bodies to feed his insatiable desire for adulation, and nothing more. The relationship between Trump and everyone else is a one-way street. They are there to make him richer and more powerful, and in return, they will get nothing but a shitty hat that will most likely leave them isolated at the Thanksgiving table. So keep an eye out for Trump's reception at the Libertarian Party convention, but already he's been dealt a pretty humbling blow. As for the Libertarian Party, maybe they should find some leadership that actually cares about hearing from, libertarians, instead of contracting their power out to a con man like the GOP has. I've got a really exciting announcement. I've written a book. It's called Shameless. This book explores how Republicans have exploited their historical branding while attacking our democracy, how the media has proven itself a willful participant, and how Democrats can learn from this to rebalance the political scales and save our democracy. It has been a lifelong dream of mine to write my own book, and so I'd like to ask you to pre-order it by clicking the link right here on the screen. And if you buy within this pre-order period, your book is going to come with a signed nameplate. As you know, I've never had a single sponsor on my channel. I don't ask for money or anything like that, but if you're looking for a way to support me, this is hands down the best way to do it. So again, follow the link right here on the screen, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for pre-ordering Shameless. And as always, make sure to subscribe to see more of my content.